And today, guys, we are down on the High Peak Canal. We've all been in lockdown now for about 7 days, so it's not been great, but we've got ourselves out today and we're going to have a look at just finding some young hawthorn leaves that we can potentially make into a tea. So yeah, we're down on the High Peak, just using our half an hour a day exercise just to see if we can find something. And I think we've found something already, pretty much. If you just have a look here, you can just look at these. This is what we're looking for. This is hawthorn, otherwise known as bread and cheese. Now these are going to be absolutely perfect for just drying out and making into a tea. These are absolutely packed full of vitamins and nutrients, vitamin C, and are really good as a tonic for the heart. So we're going to carry on picking a few of these, and we're going to be showing you later on back home what we're going to be doing with these leaves. So we're back down on the High Peak, the Peak Forest Canal, should I say, and we're just picking ourselves some hawthorn shoots. It's best to pick these while they're nice and young still, because this is when they're at the best. So yeah, we're using our half an hour exercise to come down and just pick ourselves some new shoots, because obviously we want to take these back and show you exactly what we're going to be doing with them and how we're going to process them and make them into a nice medicinal tea. So for now, I'm just going to carry on picking. So it's been good, guys. We've enjoyed our little forage today. Like I say, we've only had half an hour. Picking these is only taking us literally 5 minutes, and we're going to be able to take these back home now. We're going to dry them for a couple of days, and later on in the episode we're going to be able to show you how we're going to make our tea with them and how we're going to benefit nutritionally and also give an immune boost in these tough times. So yeah, for now, guys, I'll catch up with you soon. Morning, guys. It's day 14 of the lockdown, and we're just starting off the day as we normally do at the moment, just with a nice medicinal cup of tea. Got my hawthorn leaves that I picked roughly around 7 days ago. We've dried these out now and they're absolutely perfect for making our cup of tea. Another ingredient I'm going to add to my tea today is some dandelion roots. Again, roughly about 7 days ago I picked these and they've been drying out on my windowsill, so they're going to be perfect. This morning went out into the garden, got myself a few fresh herbs. I've got oregano in there, which is great for the lungs. I've got some spearmint again, which is good for the lungs and good for breathing. And I've also got some strawberry mint in there, so yeah, that's great. Also, we have some dandelion flowers, which are great as a tonic and diuretic. We've got some fennel seeds, and we've got a few cloves. We've got our hawthorn leaves that have been dried out. I'm using one of these tea bags. They're basically a make it your own sort of home tea bag. A friend bought these for me and I think they're really great, to be fair. They're biodegradable as well, so they're a great little product. So yeah, I love to use these. So into my tea bag I'm just going to pour my hawthorn leaves. Just need to tap that down a little bit. We'll get all that in. Pretty much fills the tea bag, to be fair. So into that I'm just going to stick some fennel and my cloves, and into that I'm just going to stick a little bit of my dandelion root, and then I'm just going to pull that tea bag tight, and that's pretty much it. That is the tea bag. So yeah, we'll move on to the next stage. So now we've got our tea bag. which has got our hawthorn leaves in. It's got fennel seed in, cloves, and it's also got a bit of dandelion root. So into the teapot with that. Kettle's just boiled, so I'm just going to pour my water into my teapot. I just want to probably fill it 3/4 of the way full. Perfect. So I'm just going to let that just soak up a little minute. It's quite dry, you see, so it's just going to have to absorb for a few minutes. Just have to push it down slightly. That's good. So into that I'm just going to put my fresh herbs. So I've got some mint, a little bit of oregano in there also. So there's 2 varieties of mint. It's actually peppermint and strawberry mint, which I've grown just out there in the garden. So yeah, it's great to have that out there because obviously it's free and it's kind of foraging in a way. We're just foraging in the back garden, and like I say, this time now we're just coming to the end of April, so it's absolutely perfect because everything's coming out now. So you know, this lockdown, it's not been brilliant, I'll be honest with you, but it's not been too bad as well because I do have available stuff just growing in the garden. So I'm quite lucky in that respect. In fact, I'm very lucky. So yeah, into that, like I say, I'm just going to put the rest of this mint now. So I'm just going to leave a few little pieces just because I like to garnish up with that. So honey, right, we're just going to put literally a teaspoon of honey in. Now this is just like your sugar, you know, your sweetness in the tea, and obviously it will also offer quite a good antibacterial sort of property. So I'm just going to leave that just to melt off the spoon. I mean, honey is just like, it's one of the great cures of all ailments, isn't it? If you've got a sore throat or a cold, people even say you can rub it onto wounds. You know, it pretty much heals everything. So I love to have a little bit of honey in the morning. So that's melted off now. So put the lid on, and we're going to be looking at about roughly about 10 minutes now. I'm just going to let that brew away and do its business, and we'll come back to that in about 10 minutes time. So the Hawthorn tea now has been brewing up for about 10 minutes. So into my tea, I'm just going to add a little bit of lime, a couple of slices. Cut those quite thin. Lovely. So a couple of slices going in. That's a teaspoon there. So our Hawthorn tea now has been steeping away for 10 minutes. Into the Hawthorn tea we also put some fennel seed, some cloves, literally 2 cloves. We put a teaspoon of honey, and we also put our dried dandelion root also. So that's been steeping away, like I say, for about 10 minutes. Into my teacup now I've just added a couple of slices of lime. Now I just wanted to add this just for a bit more flavour. I just think the combination of all those flavours work really well with this lime. So the lime's in there now. I'm just going to pour my tea in. It's not that dark, to be fair. It's got a slight tinge colour to it, but it's quite light really. It's like very similar to a green tea. And honestly, the smells coming off it, absolutely fantastic. So that's pretty much it really, to be fair. I'm just going to add a little bit of garnish to it in a second. I'm just going to let that steep away again with the lime in it. But honestly, the smells coming off it just smells fantastic. It's so fresh. Okay, so our Hawthorn tea now has just had another minute just with the slices of lime in it, just to infuse a little bit more. So into my tea now, I'm just going to literally add a little garnish of peppermint. I've got a little bit of strawberry mint, and I've just got a little sprig of oregano. So into that, I'm just going to add my dandelion flower that I've just picked from the garden this morning. I'm just going to let them sit just for a little bit longer. It's not really going to do anything, to be fair. I just think it looks really colourful and cheers me up in the morning when I see that. And like I say, if you were ever serving this in a restaurant environment, you know, I think it looks quite cool. So yeah, I quite like that touch on it. So yeah, I'm just going to let that steep away again for another minute, and then I'm going to enjoy this lovely Hawthorn cup of tea that I've made myself this morning. And there it is, our final product. Our Hawthorn and herb tea with lime, fresh herbs from the garden, dandelion flowers also just from the garden, and honestly it's absolutely, it looks so great in colour, it smells beautiful, and I'm really going to enjoy this this homegrown foraged cup of tea this morning. It's literally cost me the cost of water and a few pence for a lime. We're going to really enjoy this. So I think it's pretty much time to try this tea and make sure that it's tasting okay. Wow, that is such a nice flavour. You can taste the clove coming through, but you can also taste the hawthorn, the bread and cheese. But honestly, it's a real artisan flavour, and I could only imagine getting this sort of flavour from a pot of tea from a high-end sort of artisan tea room. But yeah, it's been a great experience anyway. I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully we've taught you a little bit today. It just shows you can go down to your local hedgerow or your local meadow, pick a few ingredients. We're not saying go and pick everything, we're saying pick responsibly. Always make sure that you're picking from areas that have not been sprayed with fertiliser, etc. Do get the farmer's permission, you know. A lot of farmers will say, yeah, no problem, you know. There is actually a law out there that says you can forage food to a certain degree, a certain level, as long as you're not taking more than you require. But yeah, hopefully you've learnt a little bit today on how to make a tea from literally minimal ingredients, pretty much free ingredients, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me make this cup of tea. I'm certainly enjoying drinking it, and I love this time of year. I love the fact that I can make myself a cup of tea from free ingredients, and it's ingredients that I'm collecting while I'm out either on the boat or out just walking the dog or just out for a walk myself. So it's been good anyway, guys. Later on in this episode we're going to be showing you how to cook a lockdown spaghetti. It's going to be an oxtail, tomato and vegetable based spaghetti. So we're going to be showing you how I've gone about making my lockdown pasta, as everyone has been talking about pasta, and obviously pasta's been selling out of the supermarkets. So we wanted to show you, well, I wanted to show you my version of my lockdown pasta. I've kept it dead cheap. It's literally cost me just over £2 for the full recipe, and I'm hoping, you know, we've got 3 to 4 portions out of that, so that's great, because that's 2 meals for me and my wife. So anyway, for now, guys, I'll show you my lockdown spaghetti dish. It's coming up after this. Today we've actually decided not to be on the boat because we can't, obviously due to the coronavirus. So we've decided to stay at home, and we're going to be cooking a pasta dish. There's been a lot of talk about different pasta dishes and what to cook in a crisis. So we've decided to do our version of a pasta dish. So what I've done is I had in the fridge a little bit of oxtail. So I've just braised this oxtail down for about 4 hours in about 500 ml of beef stock. With this oxtail, I also put in just 3 carrots, a couple of, well, 3 small turnips I had. We've also got a few garlic cloves I've added to that. 1 onion, just halved, and I just braise that down, like I say, with the beef, the oxtail, for literally 4 hours. I've got some spinach also, so I'm going to be adding that. Earlier on, just went out into the garden, picked myself a little bit of fresh herbs. We've got some spearmint, we've got some oregano, and we've got some sage leaves, which I'm going to be adding into the dish. The pasta dish, yeah, so we're going to be doing spaghetti. It's a cheap spaghetti, literally costs us about roughly £1 to buy. And into that also, just a tin of tomatoes. These have herbs in them, so that's going to be ideal to add a bit of extra flavour. So first of all, what I need to do with this oxtail is I need to get the meat off the bone. So I'm just going to start stripping this oxtail down, just so that it makes it a little bit easier just for us to cook and eat. So I'm just going to start stripping this off. Won't take me too long. Absolutely perfectly cooked. It's going to add a lot of flavour into this dish. As you can see, there's a little bit of caramelisation going on there. It's been slow cooked, like I say, for 4 hours. We cooked it initially on a heat of 180 for the first hour, and then we dropped that temperature down to roughly between 100 and 120, and we cooked that for a further 3 hours, just like I say, pretty much until all the stock had evaporated. So I'm just going to carry on just taking that off the bone. We're nearly there. Take all that off. Absolutely lovely. This is pretty much like pulled beef almost, so it's really great. A little bit juices there as well. That's what just came out of the pan, so I'll just save that because that's going to come in perfect for when we actually start creating the dish. So that's pretty much all the beef removed now off the bone. So we're nearly ready to start putting this together. So let's get on with making this pasta. First of all, I'm going to make the sauce. As I said before, when I was braising the oxtail off, we also added a little bit of vegetables to the oxtail. So I'm just going to start off by slicing the onion. It's already been braised. I actually took the onion and the veg out roughly around the halfway mark. So I'm just going to add a little bit of oil into that. I'm going to slice these onions. I'm going to leave them nice and rough. Not too bothered about cooking them dead fine. I've also got a little bit of garlic there. Slice a little bit of turnip, keep that quite chunky. Again, just going to slice these into discs, why not? Perfect. That's pretty much all the turnip in. We'll leave the ends off. You can use that in something else. Slice some carrots. Keep them nice and chunky again. Want this to be a chunky pasta. Last carrot. That's pretty much all the vegetables in. Lovely. Like I say, these won't really need any cooking. They're just literally heating them up and just allowing the flavours to come out of them. So as you can see, they're cooking down quite nicely now. We've got the carrots in there, we've got the turnip in there, some baby turnips. I had them in probably just over a week, so they really needed using up. And we've got some carrots in there also. So I'm just going to let that just simmer away for a little minute. Just going to stir that around a little bit. Then it's just starting to take on a bit of colour now. obviously because I've raised the veg with the beef. Like I say, I took the veg out roughly halfway through cooking, so it didn't really take on any colour. It was just a nice braised texture. You can see now a little bit of caramelisation on that veg. So I'm just going to leave that for a few more minutes. So with the beef, I'm just going to slice it up, just so it makes it into manageable pieces to eat. Just allows the oxtail just to go through the pasta a little bit better also. I'm just going to roughly chop that. Literally just like rib beef this. Absolutely lovely. Really, really nice. Going to enjoy this. That's nearly all the beef sliced, or the oxtail should I say. So I've got all the beef and the vegetable in the pan now. That's cooking away quite nicely. We're just cooking that down slightly, just rendering it down a little bit. Slightly starting to stick on the bottom, but we don't mind that. We don't mind a bit of flavour, so I'll just sit that off on the side. I'll just not heat down on that. Just let that just sit away there. So, in one of my previous episodes, I made some dandelion capers. So these dandelion capers had roughly around 7 weeks to preserve. We took them out of the preserving agent a few days ago, and we're now keeping them in oil. So what I want to do is I want to add a few of my dandelion capers into this dish. As I said in the Tale of Two Reservoirs, I was going to make a dish later on with these. Now this is the dish. So I'm just going to take a few of my capers, add this to my pasta dish, and this will add a little bit of heat because there was some chilies in there, and just add that little bit of a different dimension than what we're looking for. So I'm just going to add a few of these capers in. Just a teaspoon, that's all we need. We'll save a few there for a later dish. Just going to stir those in. Wow, straight away I can smell the difference that those capers are giving. Lovely. So, that's that, happy with that. Now, tin of tomatoes. Everyone's pretty much got one of these in the cupboard at the moment. This one's got herbs in it. Doesn't matter. Again, adding more flavour. I'm just going to add a tin of tomatoes straight into that. I'm just going to take the lid off. I'm just going to add some water into this. So just to make these tomatoes go a little bit further, and just to help, just let this sauce down a little bit more, I've just added probably a quarter of a tin of water from the kettle in there. I'm just going to add that straight into my sauce, into my pasta dish. Put that on the side. I'm just going to let that come back now. This is where I just want to stir the bottom of the pan and just bring up any of that caramelisation that's gone onto the bottom of the pan, just to help with the flavour in the sauce. Already starting to look really nice, this. So I'll just let that tick away and come back to a simmer, and then we'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so this sauce is simmering away nicely now. It's literally been on for just over 5 minutes, just ticking away, and it's looking lovely. The flavours really, really smelling amazing here. Simple ingredients: carrots, turnips, an onion, a little bit of garlic, tin of tomatoes, and a little bit of oxtail. Obviously our dandelion capers from the previous series, Tale of Two Reservoirs. So we're just going to let that carry on ticking away, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it next. So that sauce is really coming down nicely now. I don't know if you can see that. Really starting to thicken up, and honestly the dandelion capers, the flavour that's coming out of this is just something like I've never really experienced before, but absolutely gorgeous. So that's just going to carry on ticking away on there. Now into this I'm just going to add a bit of spinach, just to get a bit of extra iron intake and add a bit of greenery in there. Now normally I like to buy my spinach fresh, you know, small leaf or large leaf, it doesn't matter. But at the moment we've not really been getting that much fresh spinach in the supermarket, so I've opted to buy some frozen stuff, which works equally as well. So into this sauce now, I'm just going to add this frozen spinach that I've defrosted. I'm just going to sprinkle that in. I'm just going to stir that in. Lovely. That just adds a little bit of nutrition, a little bit of vitamin C, a little bit of iron into the dish. That's great, just what we want. I'll just bring that back to a simmer. So we're pretty much nearly there now. Into that, I might as well just add a little bit of seasoning, because obviously we want to just make sure that it has the right amount of flavour in there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of cracked black pepper, pinch of sea salt, and then I'll just stir that in, and I'll give that a little taste in a minute, just make sure that I've seasoned it correctly. That's one of the main things with cooking, making sure that your seasoning's correct. So I'm just going to stir that in. Absolutely looking gorgeous that. Such a simple dish. Cost next to nothing really, probably £2 in total. So really looking forward to this. In a second I'll get my water on and we can start cooking the spaghetti. Put it together, put some fresh herbs in, and that's it. Okay, so my spaghetti's had 2 minutes now. We're just going to cook it for probably another 6 minutes. It does say 10 minutes on the pack, but I'm just going to cook mine for 8 minutes. I like to leave mine slightly al dente because I do want to return it to the pasta sauce and cook it through, probably for another minute, 2 minutes. So I'm just going to allow that time for the pasta to be able to absorb the pasta sauce and the tomato sauce. So yeah, the pasta dish is pretty much cooked now. Well, it is cooked, should I say. So my pan of water is just literally coming to the boil now. Really, you want your water pretty much at a rolling boil before you put your spaghetti in. That's going to help cook your spaghetti really well, and just ensure that your spaghetti doesn't go in there and start absorbing water without it actually properly cooking. So like I say, it's nearly at a rolling boil. Into my water I'm just going to add a little bit of English cold pressed rapeseed oil, and that's just going to help with the pasta from sticking. And into that also I'm just going to add just a touch of Cornish sea salt. So I'm just going to add that in. So pan of water is ready for my spaghetti. I'd say I probably got about 150 grams of dried spaghetti there. Again, it's just cheap spaghetti, but it's going to work perfectly for this pasta dish. So I'm just going to stick my spaghetti in. I'm just going to let that cook away for roughly around 2 minutes. I'll fold the rest of the spaghetti in, and then it's going to take around another 6 minutes, and we're going to be putting it into my pasta dish, and I'll be serving it up. So for now, I'm just going to leave you for a second while we just let that cook away. So the spaghetti's had 4 minutes now, it's just ticking away. Another 4 minutes and we'll be ready to take the spaghetti out and stir into our oxtail tomato and vegetable sauce. So my oxtail tomato and vegetable sauce has just come back to a nice heat now, so that's just ticking away lovely. So into that I'm going to add my spaghetti. The spaghetti's just been drained off, but I've just left a little bit of water in the bottom. The reason I want to do this is just to let the pasta sauce down slightly and just add, just to thicken the tomato sauce also. So I'm just going to leave that for a second, swap over. So now all I'm going to do is just stir the spaghetti through the pasta sauce. Going to make sure that all this spaghetti is getting a lovely coating from the oxtail and the tomato and vegetable sauce. Like I say, I'm just going to leave that for a second. Just let that come back to the heat a little bit. So we're not far off now. I'm just going to knock the heat off that pretty much and just let that tick away. So, as I was saying before in the garden, I just picked some fresh herbs, so I'm just going to take a few of those herbs and chop them up. Just wanted to try the sauce actually. I did try it earlier on. Just want to make sure that the seasoning's working okay. Oh, really nice. So sweet, and you can really taste those dandelion capers in that dish. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my sage. I don't want too much of the sage. A couple of leaves. I'm going to take some of my oregano and strip all that. Use that. And I'm going to take a little bit of my peppermint. Why not? I like a little bit of mint in there. Just going to pick all that. Okay. So I'm just going to literally just give this a rough chop. I'm not looking for loads of finesse. Just want a rough chop through that. That'll do me. I'm going to just add this straight into the pasta. Okay. And I'm just going to stir that through. Honestly, the smells coming off those fresh herbs now, they're just hitting the spaghetti. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm just going to stir that through. And then in a second, we're going to plate up. Okay, so I'm really happy with how this spaghetti's turned out. Like I say, just going over again what I put into it, we put some braised oxtail into it. Dead cheap from your butchers, just go in your local butchers, try and support your local business. Go in, just asking for a bit of oxtail. This was around 250 grams that I got off him, it was just a couple of pieces. Just braised that oxtail down with a few carrots, a few little turnips that I had that need using up, one whole onion, a few garlic cloves, and I've just added into that 1 tin of tomatoes from the shop. That had a few mixed herbs into it also, and just into that I've also put a few fresh herbs. Okay, so I'm going to plate our spaghetti up. This is literally going to serve 2 of us, 2 to 3. You could even make it serve 4 of you if you really wanted to, if you just wanted to bulk it out with a bit of bread, bit of garlic bread, whatever you've got in. But yeah, for me now, that's pretty much a portion. I don't want too much of this because it is going to be quite filling, it being pasta. But yeah, we're just making the most out of things at the moment because we know that obviously we're quite short on ingredients, and we are trying to go for some of the older cuts of meat that you wouldn't normally use, but I love to use them anyway because I think there's more flavour in some of these older cuts, like say the ox cheek, the oxtail, and some of the older cuts, like I say, the flat iron. You know, they're all coming back and they're all great to use for dishes like this. You can pretty much use any meat you want in this. It would work with chicken quite easily, it would work with pork, lamb, duck, you know, it all depends on what you've got in at the time. I'm just showing you my take on a pasta dish. So there we go guys, that's my oxtail with vegetables in a tomato sauce. And I've just added my dandelion capers in there, like I say, that I foraged earlier on. And to this now, I'm just going to add a little bit of my oregano from the garden, a bit of fresh oregano. I always like to just garnish it off with a few fresh herbs. Just think it always looks nice and just adds that little bit more flavour towards the end of the dish. And there we go guys, my oxtail, braised oxtail, spaghetti, vegetable, tomato and dandelion caper sauce, and we're really going to enjoy this. So that's it.